That's the whole point. That's the whole point why people add the force standstill in there, because it's a left click. Now, if we're talking about hack and slash games, left click is valid for people who are playing, for example, frenzy build, even for D3. When you're frenzy, when you're swinging, okay, so yeah, okay. Well, I'm just saying because you know, what about on a number key? Like without, yes, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, for example, if it was on a number key. So let's just say this is the example I give because, for example, Wave of Light, like the way I play it is because it's on the number key. Now I don't do any like remapping keyboard. I'm playing on laptop, by the way. So I don't do any remapping whatsoever when I talk about not using force standstill at all for Wave of Light. And the reasoning behind that is because the headpiece in the Wave of Light build, the headpiece, it says that you can target at enemies. Now, the Lightning Pillar rune is the only rune that you have to be very up close, whereas all the other four runes you can play from afar. And in town, when you press the number key, or even outside of town when you're playing, Wave of Light does not need force standstill when you have it on a number key. And so the same thing with God DH, you don't need force standstill if you put it on a number key such that you cast it. Now, if we're talking about, if you're talking about God DH or some builds that you know how people like to keep refacing the enemy, like making your mouse movements really tight circles or something, and you have to reface enemies. Now, that's the purpose of the force standstill, is to reface correctly where you're playing. So people tend to add in the force standstill for not the right reasons. And so now when I say about the Hammer of the Ancients now, is that if you put it on the number 3 in town, if you assume you have Fury for it, or that it needs Fury, then if you press the number 3 and hold down number 3 without any enemies, does it still slam? So if it does, my build, if I play it on a number key. So I would play it on a number 3 key so that I can just slam without force standstill ever. I know. I'm just saying for my situation, and also for people who don't understand a number key or not. You understand what I'm saying. I'm telling other people that don't, because people add in so people who use the num lock, they take advantage of ergonomic reasons as well, but they always forget that they're adding back one key. That's what I'm getting at. Of course, there's always going to be preferential stuff, but logically and accounting the number of keys pressed, they are still not gaining fully what they're trying to achieve in the number of keys pressed. And so, for example, in the Impale, I want to press just one button instead of two buttons because I'm already so busy with, first of all, strafing, second of all, dodging affixes. Third, I'm adding now the primary skill in there. Fourth, I have to manually press impale every so often to squeeze in even more DPS. And five, I have to stand in Oculus rings while I do that. So my so that's just too much work for too little gain. And that's why I love the no generator, because you can focus on just the screen and impaling manually whenever you want. Like whenever you want. You don't even have to hold shift. And when I set that first part, I didn't even talk about shift. Now I talk about shift. That's another additional thing on top of five things, which makes it six. Whereas the no generator is only like two things. And that's without any numlocks, the two things of the no gen. If I play no gen with numlocks, I just hold down strafe. If I play with numlock on no gen, it'll be just one button, strafe. Of course, the manual impale needs manual. I already said in the word itself, so it's not about that.